Just trying to survive and learn to love along the way by Foreplay on AO3. Episode 63, Chapter 63 of Mistakes and a Past. Everyone looks shocked. Izuku knows that if Shoto hadn't told him already, he would feel the same way. Todoroki, I thought you said your dad was nice. It's Ashiro who breaks the silence. He's supposed to be. He was really bad when I was a kid, but he got therapy. But as soon as he saw Touya, it's like all that progress disappeared. Shoto clearly doesn't want to talk about this again. It seems like everyone else takes the hint, because while they all look upset for him, nobody says a word. Alright, class, if you have any questions, ask me tomorrow, and try not to bring this up with other classes too much. Everyone nods their understanding, but no one makes a move to leave. Izuku gets up, followed closely by Hitoshi and Shoto. They don't say a word until they're in the elevator, on the way to Shoto's floor. I'm just going to go check on Kacchan and Kirishima. I think something happened. Shoto nods at him, and Hitoshi gives him an understanding smile. They part ways at Shoto's floor, and Izuku rides the elevator alone to Kacchan's. He briefly considers knocking on Kirishima's door, but he knows that he's probably in Kacchan's room. Who knows what he'll find on the other side of the door? Izuku takes a deep breath and knocks. After a minute, with no answer, Izuku raises his hand to knock again. The second his fists make contact, the door swings open. Kacchan looks pissed. What the hell do you want? Kacchan sounds angry too, but Izuku doesn't take offense. He can tell that the anger isn't directed at him. I just wanted to make sure you guys are okay. You weren't at the meeting downstairs, so I figured something happened. Kacchan regrets him for a moment before answering. No shit, Sherlock. I'm fucking mad as hell. Izuku could tell that much. Not that he'll say anything. And Kirishima? Kacchan sighs and opens the door further, gesturing him inside. See for yourself. Izuku looks around as soon as the door shuts behind him. Clearly something big happened. Kirishima is sitting up on Kacchan's bed, wrapped in what looks to be a good 10 blankets. He has them pulled over his head, so Izuku can barely see his face. All he can make out are red, swollen eyes and damped cheeks. What happened? Kacchan gives him the best, "Are you fucking kidding me?" look. You really don't know? He gestures for Izuku to sit down in his desk chair before walking over to his bed. He takes a seat, and the lump of Kirishima leans over onto him. I mean, I could take a guess, but I'd rather you just tell me. Kacchan rolls his eyes, but opens his mouth anyways. Well, we were waiting for the dumb meeting, and shitty hair was getting all angsty, so he got up to grab some water. Which means that he went to the kitchen, which is probably where Touya was hiding. I heard a glass break, so I go check on him. Find him having a whole fucking panic attack because the stupid fucking villain was standing there. Izuku had been expecting this. He didn't expect Kirishima to have such a reaction. He thought maybe he'll react similar to his friends. But it makes sense. Kirishima almost died, and he had to watch someone else die. Izuku doesn't know how he'd react in a situation like that. Damn, my dad will probably be up here soon to explain it all. He fucking better. I sure hope it wasn't his stupid fucking idea to bring that monster here. Izuku shakes his head at him. It wasn't. There's a familiar knock on the door. Kacchan makes to go get up, and Izuku stops him and gets the door himself. His dad and Nezu are standing there. His dad is frowning, but who knows what the expression on the principal's face is? Izuku can never tell. Nezu strolls right on in as if he owns the place, which, in a way, he kind of does. However, his dad hesitates in the doorway. Izuku steps forward and wraps his arm around him. It's okay, Dad. I think he'll understand. He gives his dad a tight squeeze before pulling away. He gives Izuku a small smile before entering Kacchan's room, shutting the door behind him. Izuku wants to go back to his friends now, but there's something else he needs to do first. So he pulls out his phone once he reaches the elevator. Hey, Toshi, I'm just going to talk to my dad for a bit before I come back to Shoto's room. He shoves his phone back into his pocket and steps out of the elevator, heading straight for his dad's dorm. He lets himself in with the key he's been giving, and the first thing he registers is the smell. Something smells delicious, so he makes his way to the kitchen, nearly tripping over Toothless as he goes. Radio follows him to the kitchen, meowing obnoxiously. Izuku picks her up, and she quiets right down, thrilled with the attention. "Dad, is everything okay?" No answer. His dad doesn't even turn around, so Izuku carefully places Radio on the floor and steps up to his dad's side, lightly grabbing his shirt. He learned through trial and error that the best way to get his attention when he's not wearing his hearing aids. Izuku starts signing as soon as his attention is on him. "You okay?" His dad just nods at him. "I can tell when you're lying. You're clearly stress-breaking, Dad." Everything that's been happening with Touya has been stressing your dad out, so it's stressing me out. I heard about what happened in the kitchen. His dad turns to the oven and pulls out a batch of cookies, so Izuku has to wait a minute to answer. "It was an accident, and hopefully everybody will understand." How wise. His dad gives him a playful smile. "How do you feel about it?" His dad gestures to him to the living room. When he follows, he's carefully putting his hearing aids back in. "I don't know, Susu. I definitely don't like how Nezu decided to run the meeting, especially with everything it caused beforehand. Obviously, Touya can't go with Endeavor, so this may have been the best option. Doesn't mean it was a good one, though." Izuku leans into his dad on the couch. He pulls his arms around him and tucks Izuku into his side, and he melts into the touch. It feels like it's been so long since they've been able to spend time together. It was easier before the dorms, when they had a separate home and he got to spend more time with them. If he spent the same amount of time with them now, the class would know something is up. Some of them know anyways, and it's only a matter of time before the rest of the class finds out who his dads are. Izuku would like to keep it a secret for a little while longer. "Yeah, I know what you mean. Everyone was so surprised and angry. I expected the ones he attacked to react that way, but the rest of the class did too. We all lost someone that day, and no matter how close we were to Sato, it still affects us, you know?" "Yeah, baby, I do know. Sho and I lost a classmate once." Izuku had no idea. His dad sounded so sad about it. The whole situation is probably bringing up the memories. "I'm sorry, that must have been on your mind a lot with everything that's happening." At first he wasn't. The only thing I could think about was rescuing you. But once everyone was safe in the hospital, I thought of him. I know Sho did too. We talked about it a little, but he's just been so busy lately. His dad tightens his arms around him. Izuku turns on the couch so that he could hug him properly. "I'm sorry, Dad. You can talk to me about him if you want." His dad hugs him tighter at the words and drops his head onto Izuku's. "Oh, baby. Don't worry about it. Sho's patrol got cancer tonight, and he promised that he would finally have some time." "Well, you still can." "Thank you, Susu. I love you so much, baby." "I love you too, Dad." Okay, that was a sweet kind of chapter. So, sweet, and oh my god, Oboro got mentioned. Oh my god, okay, finally. It makes sense on why the emotions of Oboro would be pushed aside, because especially with dealing with the fact that your child is literally kidnapped, then dealing with the fact that, not only do you have all your kids back, but now you have to figure out if one of them's a traitor, and then after that, the whole Touya situation happened, and the Shoto situation happened, and they haven't, or at least Shouta hasn't had a time to sit down and process his feelings, his emotions, and stuff like that. I'm happy that it mentioned that, he's gonna be able to because patrol got canceled that night. So hopefully he does go through this. Also, today is the 15th. Shit's been sad, alright? If you've seen my other videos, specifically the series, the 8 a.m. series, or the Devil's Blue series, you know shit's going down, alright? Banana Fish, TikTok, and the fandom in general. I literally, it's not even just TikTok at this point. I go into Tumblr and it's there. I go into Instagram and it's there. Dude, like, I can't peacefully do anything. Like, I think the only place that I could peacefully go is AO3 because I choose what to see. But the urge to read a fluffy, nice, cute Banana Fish fanfic is very much there. But moving on from that, it's really interesting to see, you know, them struggling with Oboro, and I really wish I could see a little more of that. So chapter 64 is of musings and a bus. And then the summary, there's no summary. This chapter is pretty tame in regards of warning. The only warning I have is that there are briefs mentioned of All Might and Endeavor. I really want to say thank you guys have been amazing readers. Every single comment, no matter how small, brings me joy. Honestly, people thanking me for writing or just commenting kudos make me feel so good. I never expected this to be received so well. Thank you. You guys are the absolute best. I love you and every one of you. Enjoy the chapter. So there's not really big thing. I'm guessing this is the provisional license, so that's gonna be interesting for sure. It's gonna be definitely interesting considering situations and how things have been going about lately. So I wonder how that's gonna develop and stuff like that. As always, my raindrops. Make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.